You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and it's time now for your expanded local news. The Manners Park Pool, event requests, and more are on the agenda for the Taylorville Park Board of Trustees monthly meeting tonight. As always, it will take place at 7 p.m. in the Manners Park Dining Hall. In new business, the board will hear a request regarding a 9/11 remembrance ceremony, along with matters pertaining to the skate park and a Christmas party. The Manners Park Pool project will feature in old business when the board will discuss a contract. This is expected to relate to Landmark Aquatic, with which the board voted in October to proceed for the project. As is customary before new and old business, the board will hear the treasurer's report. After the business sections, the maintenance superintendent, recreation director, and office administrator will make their reports. The board will then potentially go into executive session. Stay tuned to regional radio news for updates following tonight's meeting. South Fork's 8-man football team reached new heights in the 2025 season. They suffered just one defeat, which came in the state playoff semifinal. Making a deep run in the playoffs was, of course, the goal, and this season's outcome is part of the growth that the program has experienced now in recent years. It began with a strong contingent of junior league players joining the team just 4 seasons ago. And now, as seniors, they can look back on how far they and the team have gone. The coaching staff has played its part as well. They include head coach Zach Hanlon, offensive coordinator Grant Graham, and also defensive coordinator Chris Clark. Clark also serves as the superintendent of South Fork Schools. They credit the players, especially the seniors, for galvanizing each other and pushing for a better finish this season than they've had in previous ones.
Yeah, I mean, it was a historic season for us. Reaching the semifinals, we had made the playoffs the past 3 years and got kind of booted in the first round. So these seniors that we had much bigger goals in mind, and we were able to make it to the semifinals, and it was very much on the backs of those seniors. But yeah, it was a historic season for us, and really rallied the entire community, all 3 communities really, Edinburgh, Morrisonville, and Kincaid. It definitely lit a spark in all those communities, and it was a great thing for all those schools. And a lot of those kids that are seniors this year had been playing varsity minutes since they were freshmen, so they had that playoff experience, and they went into this season knowing that the playoffs were no longer the goal, and they wanted to make a run in the playoffs, and they definitely did that. And like I said, it just the spark that it lit for the communities, it was unbelievable, and a memorable season that these kids will remember for the rest of their lives.
The Ponies had 10 seniors on the team, many of whom received major accolades for their individual performances.
Obviously we had some guys that even made the All-State team. We got Brody Lush, who was All-State, George Bailey, who was All-State, Carter Elder, All-State, Jude Walker. I'm forgetting someone, I believe. Cash O'Connell was an All-State player, and then we had several others on the All-Conference list. And this group of seniors have been playing together since the 4th grade, all the way through JFL, and they've had a lot of success all the way since 4th grade. And it's been an honor to coach these guys. It's been an awesome group. They've had success in every sport they've played. It's been an awesome group of kids, and a very, very deserving year for them.
The team is in fact a co-op with Edinburgh and Morrisonville. The coaches say the combination of the smaller communities has created one strong, united group of supporters.
Sure, and I'll jump into that with and the last playoff game that we had last Saturday night was just an amazing atmosphere for unreal. All communities. I mean, when you looked in there, and then you have the visiting teams talking about how cool of an atmosphere it was, and just the publicity we got. We can't thank Hart Media enough with the Sports Wire coming out and giving us what they gave us too. I mean, I can't go on Facebook without seeing some of that stuff that he does for us, and that was awesome. Just getting our kids, the publicity that they deserved and worked hard for, and then our community backing them was really, really something special. And you say that, we are focused on coaching for sure, but you couldn't help but step back and be like, darn, look at this thing. Look at how cool of an atmosphere it really is for everybody involved.
As happy as the coaching staff has been with the team's success on the field, they want the South Fork football experience to carry a deeper meaning for the players than just those wins.
just the growth in the seniors and the leadership role they took, and showing the younger generation of what it takes now to be a pony on a football organization. And we're hoping that they have set the standard now, and kids follow that, because their growth in just over a year was simply amazing on the leadership side of it. And that's a direct reflection of the head coach and the expectations he set for him. So with it.
Yeah, and then just the idea of building a program. I think these seniors bought into that idea, as far as even taking the underclassmen, just under their wing and helping them in the weight room, helping them at practice, and showing them, that they're there to build something bigger than their last year of football, and I think they did a great job of that, and they got a lot of younger guys excited to play football, and helped a lot with the recruiting as well. So yeah, they did a great job of kind of embracing that role of we're building something more than a 1-year run.
More information on South Fork School District number 14 is available at southforkschools.com. Chris Clark, Grant Graham, and Zach Hanlon appeared as guests on the WTIM Morning Show. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Life moves fast, and your banking should keep up. This is Will Perkins. At Taylorville Community Credit Union, managing your money is easier than ever. With our 24/7 online banking and mobile app, you can check your balance, transfer funds, and pay your bills. Anytime, anywhere, safe, secure, and just a tap away. For more information, call or stop by one of our local branches. TCCU, local banking that goes wherever you do. Member NCUA.
Anyone looking for exercise to work off Thanksgiving dinner can take part in the Taylorville Memorial Hospital Foundation's Jingle Bell 4K and Little Elf's Dash. It's scheduled for Sunday, November 30th at the hospital. This event is just one of the many ways that the foundation and its auxiliary group organize to raise money for the healthcare organization to ensure that it can continue to provide top quality care to patients. Same-day registration for the event opens at 8 a.m. The 4K starts at 9 a.m., and the Little Elf's Dash will begin just a half hour later. Katie Champion-Williams, the director of the TMH Foundation, says prizes are on offer for the top performers in the various age groups.
We are going to have awards presented to different age groups. It is going to be a timed race, and so I know there's a lot of racers in the community that want to have those accolades. And so we do have the age groups of 14 and under, 15 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, and 60 plus. And I'm really excited to see what the reaction is, because in addition to bragging rights, the winner of each age category gets a pie. The Little Elf's Dash is really just a dash race. It's not necessarily based on length. It's for kids 10 and under, and every child that participates will get this really awesome medal that has a little elf on it. And so it's going to be really fun for the kids to take part in. And at the finish line will be Santa.
Interested participants can also register in advance through a link in this story on our website, TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. The race is returning after a brief hiatus. Cheryl McCavitz, a TMH auxiliary member, says that the post-Thanksgiving desire for a workout is what inspired the race.
They haven't done the race for a couple of years. They did it, I think it was 2 years ago. They had run the race. Then for whatever reason, we stopped that and decided, after Thanksgiving and people have eaten too much and they probably want to get out and run in this cold weather. So we thought it would be a great idea. So we decided we were going to have this, include the little kids. And I did want to mention that if you don't get signed up online, you can register the morning of. It just costs you $5 more. But we'd love for everyone to come out. I think it's going to be a great time. And like we said, we really pulled some strings and got Santa to agree to come so the kids can have something to look forward to at the end of the race.
The auxiliary organizes several other events every year as well. One of them, a trivia night, proved immensely successful this go-around.
We had a friends theme, and we had, I believe it was 8 teams that came out and participated, and we just had a great night, fun competition, and then we also had a wine pull during that, and it was so successful. We've had people asking us, when are you having that trivia night? We want to be a part of it. So we're expecting to have one again in 2026, and we hope to maybe double our teams.
Awesome. And you mentioned Friends, so like the show.
Yes.
Okay, show that is awesome.
But all the questions weren't on Friends, but it was just kind of based around there. And actually, my daughter and her husband put it on for us, and they did an excellent job. So I have to give them a little plug.
The money that the foundation raises goes towards a variety of purposes. In the case of the 4K and Dash, they look to invest in their employees to increase morale, which can in turn improve patient care.
The auxiliary supports the foundation. So over the years, there's been many different areas that it has gone to. Like if there's a piece of equipment that needs to be purchased, we will make a pledge and work to raise the money for that. But we also support the colleagues, just so that they have things to look forward to, whether it's treats at Valentine's Day or popcorn sometime during the year, just something to keep them to know that they are appreciated, that we enjoy working with them, that we support what they do. A happy worker makes, the job a lot easier for everybody. So we plan different events throughout the year. I think this year we had like 4 events, or we're having 4, that raise money. And we work together with the foundation to see where the money is needed.
More information on the Memorial Health System is available at memorial.health. Katie Champion-Williams and Cheryl McCavitz appeared as guests on the WTIM Morning Show. When Matt Williamson graduated from Leroy High School just a few years ago, he didn't picture himself working alongside actors he had only ever seen on screen. That's exactly where he has found himself as a senior at Eastern Illinois University, gaining experience on professional film sets across Central Illinois. What began as a fascination with movies has grown into the kind of opportunity most young filmmakers only dream about, thanks in large part to EIU and their programs. Williamson says movies were a constant part of his life growing up, and he even worked at his hometown movie theater to stay close to what he loved. EIU wasn't originally his plan after high school, but one campus visit shifted that. He was drawn in by how quickly students could get involved in real production work and how much time they were able to spend behind the camera rather than just reading about it. That early exposure helped set the stage for everything that has followed. Through Eastern Illinois University School of Communication and Journalism and its student-run media programs, Williamson built a set of skills that led him to a paid job as camera utility on a feature film called Chili Finger. It was shot around Central Illinois in 2025. The role put him in the middle of a professional crew, handling equipment, supporting the camera department, and seeing the pace and coordination required to keep a film set moving. For a student who grew up studying movies for fun, stepping into that environment felt like a milestone that connected his past interests with a future career. Along the way, Williamson points to several EIU faculty members whose guidance made a big difference. Of the faculty that supported him, Drew Britton, Kelly Goodwin, and Joe Astorowski. Today, Williamson's story serves as an example of how a regional public university can open doors for students who come ready to learn. More information about EIU's programs and services is available at eiu.edu or through their public information office at 217-581-7400. More year-round E15 discussions are taking place in Washington. It's something that the Illinois Farm Bureau is paying close attention to. That was Kevin Simlow, who is the Executive Director of Governmental Affairs and Commodities for the Illinois Farm Bureau. The Illinois Commerce Commission has cut $55.8 million from Ameren, Illinois' rate request for its natural gas delivery services. Ameren had requested $128.8 million. The ICC also approved a 9.6% return on equity a reduction from the company's requested 10.7% ROE. A statement from the utility watchdog Citizens Utility Board stated that they are thankful that the state regulators responded by derailing Ameren's bid to raid consumers for costs that were blatantly inflated and unwarranted. Here is the Citizens Utility spokesman, Jim Chilson. The ICC's ruling on Wednesday exceeds the reduction recommended by 2 administrative law judges just last month. The Illinois Department of Natural Resources is promoting an online resource as the state's biggest hunting weekend soon approaches. Dan Skinner is with the IDNR. The state's opening weekend of the firearm deer hunting season opened up this Friday through Sunday. This will conclude the second portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by CNB Bank and Trust.
Life happens, and CNB Insurance Services is here to help protect what matters most. From your home and car to your farm and business, our local team works with top providers to find the coverage that fits your life. No pressure, just honest guidance from people you know and trust. CNB Bank and Trust, helping to open doors since 1854.
Insurance products are not insured by FDA or any federal government agency. Are not a deposit of or guaranteed by the Fed or any bank and may lose value. Any insurance required as a condition of the extension of credit by CNB Bank and Trust and may not be purchased from our agency, but then without affecting the approval of the application or an extension of credit be purchased from an agent or insurance company of the customer's choice.
Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home.
When it comes to organizing your life, Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville has some words of advice. Consider pre-planning your funeral. The death of a loved one can be a traumatic event in people's lives, and you can spare your family the burden of planning a funeral when they are grieving. Sutton Memorial Home knows that establishing a pre-arrangement assures that important decisions and your personal selection are made in advance and spares your family an additional burden at their time of loss. Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Caring is what they do best.
74-year-old Pauline E. or Penny Shaheda of Taylorville died on November 17th. Visitation is November 25th from 9:30 until 11 a.m. at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Taylorville. Funeral Mass will be on November 25th at 11 a.m. at St. Mary's Catholic Church. Burial will be at Oak Hill Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. 73-year-old Randy E. Prince Sr. of Taylorville died on November 18th. Cremation rites have been accorded, and a celebration of life will be held at a later date. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. 91-year-old Margie E. Bowe of Tovey died on November 14th. Graveside service will be today, November 24th at 1:30 p.m. at Glen Haven Memorial Gardens in Taylorville. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Masterson Funeral Home in Kincaid. Again, you can find obituaries at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Moving to weather, or a quick look at it. As for today, we're expecting a 40% chance of rain, mainly after 4 p.m. Areas of dense fog before 10 a.m. will be looming. Otherwise, it'll be cloudy with a high near 51. Tonight, that rain will continue. The low drops to 47. Wind gusts as high as 15 miles per hour, and the chance of precipitation set at 100%, expecting nearly a half inch to be possible. For Tuesday, a 30% chance of rain. It'll be mainly after noon. It'll be mostly cloudy, a high of 58. Tuesday night, that rain goes away for just a little while. It'll be mostly cloudy with a low around 33. As for Wednesday, mostly sunny, a high of 41. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com, or hear these stories and more every hour on WTIM. WTIM is your only local news radio.